Welcome to today's Emunah Minute. There is an incredible pasuk at the end of Parshas Kedoshim. The Torah says, this is in Perek Chaf, pasuk Chaf Vav, chapter 20, verse 26. Visem li Kedoshim, be kadosh, be holy unto me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Ki kadosh ani Hashem, because I, Hashem, your God, am holy. Va'avdil eschem min ha'amim lihiyosli, and I've separated you from the nations to be mine. To be mine, to be for me. And of course, this is a theme, a sentiment that's echoed throughout the parsha of being kadosh, of being holy. Rashi picks up on the idea of what does it mean, lihiyos li, to be mine. And Rashi says something amazing. I'm going to quote you. Rashi says, Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah teaches us, how do you know that a person shouldn't say, Nafshi katsa bebasar chazir, efshi lilbosh kilayim, aval yomar efshi, Umayase aviv shabashamayim gazer alai. Meaning what? Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah says like this: a person shouldn't say, you know what? I have no desire to eat chazer, no desire to consume pork. I have no desire for non-kosher items, or I have no desire to wear shatnez. In other words, a person shouldn't say, I have no desire for an aveira. Rather, what should a person? Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah says, what's the higher level? That a person should say, I want the chazer. I want the shatnez. I want the illicit relationships. I want the prohibited things. But what can I do? HaKadosh Baruch Hu told me I'm not allowed to have it. Says Rashi, that's the meaning. Be holy, ki kadosh ani va'avdil eschem lihiyos li. You're mine, Hashem says. So do it for me. Do it for me. Don't abstain because you don't want it, because you're not enticed by it. But be enticed. Want it. But find the strength to resist because you belong to me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. And you know, whenever I read this Rashi, I always think to myself, it sounds so incredibly counterintuitive. Right? Think about this. If you ask the person, what's the higher level? To want chazer, to want to consume, a Big Mac, to want to consume a cheeseburger, to want it but to resist it, or to not even want it at all? I would have thought the higher level is to not want it at all. To be the kind of person that doesn't even have that desire. To be that person who doesn't have that want. Think about this even on a different level. We have so many prohibitions regarding morality or prohibitions against immorality. So what's the higher level? To say, I want those things so badly, but Hashem says I can't have it? Or to say, you know what, I don't even have that desire to transcend. So I always thought that the higher level is to say, I don't want the chazer. I don't want the cheeseburger. I don't even want the immorality. And Rashi says, no, it's not true. Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah says, it's not true. The higher level is to say, I want it. I want it. Who doesn't want a good cheeseburger? Who doesn't want immorality? I want it. But what can I do? HaKadosh Baruch Hu told me I can't have it. You see, sometimes the most important thing is to recognize our own humanity. And to recognize that, of course, we're going to want things that we're not allowed to have. That's human nature. The forbidden fruit is always sweeter, right? Tell someone they can't have it, and suddenly, I never wanted it before in my life, but suddenly I can't have it, suddenly now I want it. But that struggle is normal. That struggle is commonplace. To have to fight against yourself, you see, often we think that when we encounter internal struggle, there's something wrong with us. There's something broken. If I was really a complete person, I wouldn't even have this struggle. It's not true. I'm a person, therefore I have the struggle. I'm a human being, therefore I have the struggle. The highest level is not to have the struggle. The highest level, the pinnacle of spiritual accomplishment is to have the struggle, but then to find the inner strength to overcome it. It's not, the highest level is not to not want the cheeseburger, to not want the immorality. It's to want it, but to find the strength to overcome those wants, those urges, because I belong to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The pinnacle of accomplishment is not the avoidance of the struggle. The pinnacle of human accomplishment is to engage the struggle and to feel enough of a connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to overcome it. Wishing everyone a wonderful day.